SPED 2010 students. I hope everyone's having a great week. I know we are right now in the midst of completing Module 10, but I wanted to go ahead and make this video to kind of give you an outlook of finishing up the semester and where we are. So I can't believe it. We've made it down to the finish line. So let's finish strong. We've got a few more things to do, but I just wanted to jump on here and kind of walk you through it so you can kind of see where we are. So as I mentioned, we are in the middle of Module 10. So you should be working on your co-teaching lesson plan and presentation. So whether you are working alone or choosing to work with a partner, you should be completing this. Also, a lot of us have turned in our service learning journal and written papers. I have been grading those. It's been really nice to kind of see your experience, and I've been grading those as I've been getting those in. Remember, to grade the entire project, I need your mentor teacher to send your closing documents. So you may want to reach out to your mentor teacher and to me to make sure that those have been emailed or mailed to the school. And also, if you were handed a sealed envelope and you want to drop it by your closing document, that's fine. Remember, your closing documents would be your log and also your final evaluation. So to be complete, we need those closing documents to show that you've actually completed your hours. So you'll remember that the service learning extended the service learning journal date in written paper, the analysis. It will be due this Sunday, April 27th. So please make sure that you get that submitted on time. So you will notice here, May 1st, so next Thursday, or this coming Thursday, spring classes will end. I can't believe it. So that means that we were going into the last week, which is finals week. And I'll get into that in just a minute. But our final is going to be May the 5th, and we'll close on May the 6th. And you'll see here I also put spring graduation ceremonies for any of us that are graduating is May 8th as well. And don't forget, too, that we will also have what we call post-test course feedback, which is what we call wrap-up materials, which I will go over in just a minute. So right now, finish strong. Get your co-teaching lesson plan and presentation submitted. Submit your service learning journal and written paper, reflection paper, and also check on your closing documents. Make sure that they've been emailed to the right email or mailed to the school. Whatever you need to do, but that needs to be submitted. I cannot give you a grade that you completed this service learning if I do not have this documentation. So please reach out to your mentor teacher and to myself just to be sure. So let's go ahead and look at the final first, and then we'll get up into the wrap-up materials. So you'll see here, this kind of follows the same structure that we did with midterm. With your midterm, we covered modules 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so half the semester. Your final exam is going to cover the second part of the course, so modules 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I did provide you with a final exam study guide. You'll see here, so when you click on it, it will show you, it'll look like this. It's going to divide it up into sections based on the material we covered, the content, course objectives, and you'll see I tell you which module it's located in. A lot of these questions too are going to come out of your quizzes. And what do I mean by that? So if you remember early on, I told you that the module quizzes are kind of in a test bank, and what that means is that all of the questions that you receive in the quizzes might come back up on this final exam. So it's in a test bank and it just pulls questions from it. So there's a good chance you're going to see questions that you've seen before on your quizzes. So if you've been doing the quizzes and taking them multiple times and reading the textbook and studying the module and doing the work, that's going to help you when you are taking the final exam. Now, you'll notice here the final exam materials are open now. So you have a chance to use that study guide now, which I encourage you to look at it early and start studying. I also put down here a link to the actual exam. So as I mentioned, the final will be during finals week. So our final is going to open on Monday, May the 5th at 8 a.m. and it will be closing Tuesday, May the 6th at 11:59 p.m. So that's going to give you 2 full days to choose when you want to take the quiz. So you have, or the exam rather, you have that window, 2-day window to take it. Now, as I mentioned before when we did our midterm, you do not get to take the exam multiple times like you do with quizzes. You get one shot at this, so please make sure that you, before you hit begin quiz, you're ready and you feel prepared. Now, I will not be proctoring this because this is an asynchronous course and you used your study guide last time, so I'm not going to proctor this exam for the final. So you'll do it just like you did the midterm exam. You will not come in. This will be on your own time. I want to now finish up with the post-test and course feedback, which is what we call the course wrap-up activities. So the first thing we're looking at here is already open, and what it is course feedback. So a while back, the college, when you went into eLearn, wanted you to review your courses. So every time you logged in, it would show you a notification saying for you to review these courses. This feedback is specifically related to our course. So what I mean by that is this is a chance for you to give open, honest feedback. I want you to describe what do you feel like were the positive aspects of the course, like things you took away that you liked, and then also negative aspects if you felt there were any. But be sure not to only identify a problem, right? We want maybe a possible solution of how it can be improved. I do want honest feedback. This is very valuable because it helps me improve the course. So that you'll see is open now. I opened it early because I wanted us to have time to do it whenever our schedule allowed us to. And it's going to close on May the 5th at 11:59. So you still have time to get that if you haven't already. And then lastly, you're going to see what we call post-test. Now, if you remember way back when to the beginning of the semester, if we can go back that far, I know we've slept since then, but that first week of classes, you took what we call pre-test. And what that was is I asked you a series of questions about topics in special ed, right, that we haven't covered yet. And what I was doing was testing your knowledge and see what you knew about those topics. And I said, later on, at the end of the semester, you're going to take the same test again. Well, it's that time. You're going to take the same exact test. And what that allows me to do is to see your growth, number one, of how much you've learned over the semester, but also that you're mastering the course objectives, right? That I'm doing a good job getting the material to you and that you're absorbing and remembering the material and application, is there. So that's something that you will be doing as well. So you'll see it actually is opening on April 28th and it will be closing on May the 5th. The reason that I opened this early and closed this earlier is because I felt like with the final exam there was a lot of modules we covered. It's a lot of topics and I didn't want you having the stress or anxiety, with 2 tests that same week. So that's why it starts earlier and then closes before we get to final exam. But sadly, this is the last video I'll be doing with you this semester. It's actually kind of flown by. I feel like it's went by pretty fast, but I really hope that you took a lot away from this course, whether you participated in the work-based learning project or the tiny home build or your service learning project or just the course content itself. I really hope that you were able to take things away that you can not only gain perspective and insight, but also use and apply later on in your own classrooms when working with inclusive students. So I hope everyone enjoyed this semester. I hope you have a really great summer. Some of you, this is it. Your journey at Water State has ended and you will moving on to university. But if not, I hope to see you maybe in another class or around the halls. But I do look forward to maybe running into some of you and hearing about all the wonderful things you're doing and where you're going. So I hope everyone, again, has a great week. Finish strong. And if you have any questions about the co-teaching presentation or anything else we covered in this video, just be sure to reach out. Also, again, real quick, don't forget to reach out to myself and your mentor teacher about your closing documents for service learning. All right, guys, take care.